Five, four, three, two, one. Blast off. And welcome back to the channel, family. Welcome back to IndigoAngel. Come on into this dimension and come on into this particular update where we're going to be getting into quite a lot in this update. I have to IndigoAngel, a prophetic ascension transmission for the remainder of 2025, where we're going to be going into SpaceX and the Men in Black programs that are operating down in Starship, Texas. And what I'm about to share with you guys tonight does come from the Guardian records, and I do feel like this message is urgent. The Draco Orion disclosure timeline is opening, and with it, a wave of hidden operations are essentially being revealed. And I have to say, you guys, that SpaceX is not really exactly what it seems. Behind the narrative of exploration and colonization lies a Men in Black portal system, launch pads acting as artificial stargates, tearing holes in Earth's space-time field. These rips are being exploited by Draco regents and Orion commanders, and the AI hybrid drone non-human intelligences who enter into our atmosphere cloaked, hidden, and essentially unannounced. Okay, and they're putting on a sky show today, tonight. It is going down, you guys. August 24th, 2025 at 5:55 p.m. SpaceX is conducting Starship's 10th flight test. And might seem like just a flight test, okay, but this comes after investigations into the loss of their previous starships. The previous one that they had, the ninth flight test, and Ship 36 had static fire anomalies, and ultimately they were failures. So they're going to be launching the 10th one. And it's where they're going to be working on all of their hardware and operational changes that they're increasing, trying to make things more reliable, trying to make things better. They're having these tests to essentially expand the super heavy boosters. And so they have multiple landing burn tests. I mean, this is where you see the rockets come down and they're landing on the actual, rocket post. And they have these successful landings, and you see all the people standing out there with their cameras all far away, and they're excited about this and they're cheering this on. Um, this is where they're going to be deploying re-entry experiments, okay? Particular experiments, Stargate access opening and re-entry experiments into our atmosphere, into this dimension, into this timeline, okay? Everything you see here being somewhat elusive, being very covert, and being a lot more than what just meets the eye, that is for sure. They have their boosters that are going to land offshore in the Gulf of America. They're going to be staging and deploying 8 Starlink simulators on a suborbital trajectory expected to demise their particular re-entry points, so collapsing down certain Stargate portals in which they've structurally placed before, closing and collapsing those down. Also placing more of their artificial non-human intelligence monitoring systems up into our atmosphere. And ultimately, these are stress tests. These are stress tests. These are beta tests to see how well the collective is going to essentially handle all of this, along with their machines and, all of their uh, spaceships that they have. So, what I have to say is that this is some disclosure commentary that I have for all of y'all, that this is not entirely what it looks like. These flights are not just engineering tests. They are re-entry points placed into our atmosphere, opening portals where Draco Orion AI infiltration is being installed on Earth. And I have to say, you guys, I wasn't planning to do a show on this. I'm actually going to keep my video off for this one because prior to even coming online with you guys, I was already starting to get AI interference. So I actually do not want to show my face. Also, because of the complexity and the extent of the material and the things I've been putting out recently, I have been under massive attack, you could say, targeted individual over here, and the bioweapons have been no joke over the last 3 weeks. So I have been in full uh, repairing mode over here from their previous attempts that they've taken on me. And so I do want to keep my camera off for this particular update, but just know that I'm here to kind of expose the behind the scenes of what's really going on with this. Also, if you want to watch this launch tonight, you just want to go to the SpaceX website. You can go to the watch link here, or you can scroll down and watch it on X. Essentially, this is going to begin. The countdown is on. Up here in the corner, you see the upcoming launch over here, 40 minutes and 52 seconds. So this is about to be live. You can watch this in real time and intuit this for yourself and start to kind of put these pieces together for yourself as to what is happening down here in Texas and what does all this ultimately mean? Because there is a lot, I must say, you guys. So come on in and check on in for this live. Come on in and check on in for this update. I am so happy to see you all tuning in with me here in the chat. Thank you so much for tuning in. It's such a pleasure to see you all again. It's been about 3 weeks since I've been on live, and it's nice to kind of be back in the seat here. You do have to be subscribed to the channel for at least 60 seconds to join me down in the chat. But of course, I love it when you guys tune in with me and just help me bring in a well-rounded update here and read everyone's perspective and just let me know what you guys think and feel about all of this. So Earth sign says, of course, it's nefarious, right? There's always a deeper unseen templating that's running behind all of this. Meredith Jennett says, thank you for continuing your work. Oh, thank you so much for continuing to join me on my channel. I appreciate that so much. If you guys could hit the like button tonight, share this video out because I am going to switch over to my map. We're going to get over to the Scribbles map and we are going to talk about what are the grid connections that are behind all of this and ultimately what is really playing out here because once I got the locations on the map, a lot bigger picture has started to unfold for me, essentially. And simultaneously, they got that blue beam technology, the holographic directives of the Draco Orion forces. I really do feel like they're preparing the collective with all of this for particular things, such as false messiah events, um, negative ET disclosure, right? That's why my video is titled today, Orion Draconian Disclosure, because I mean, really, if you have the eyes to see, you'll know that these Starship launches are exactly that. And there's a lot of artificial ships is what we're seeing. You guys, these are artificial ships. These are artificial um, devices and artificial craft, replicas, cloning devices. And there's just a lot of divine illusions that are running in our skies right now. These are not organic ascension signals, I can tell you that much. And these are programs to hijack the collective dream fields. Again, we've been talking about what the Draco have been doing in the dream fields. It hasn't been so pretty. They got the wormhole tethering devices. They have the artificial AI dreamscape inserts. And I do believe that they're just binding humanity deeper and deeper into these AI overlays. And speaking of guardian directives, I do feel that the Christos Sophia orders, they are counter-activating these things. This is why we have the dove grid, the swan grid, the solar sun disk, the guardian stargates. All of that is rising into resonance, but the sacred 144 crystalline lattices of light do have to be, protected. And they do have to be ultimately sealed in in guardian protection. So yeah, there's a lot of false holograms that are going to be clashing with the organic codes. That's really what I see is going to be coming up. Um, Really going into 2025, we're going to get into kind of what am I seeing is going to play out over the Draco Orion disclosure arcing timelines, basically starting now, August 2025, all the way to December 2025, the rest of the year. The rest of this year is going to be a Draco Orion disclosure window that is opening up. And the infiltration is deep and the veils are thinning rapidly. So the geopolitical stage, current events, all of this reflects this. All of this reflects the revelations of these hidden control systems, surveillance AI, bioneurological experimentation, all of it beginning to surfacing in fragmented yet undeniable ways. And by late 2025, the collective will begin linking all of this geopolitical manipulation with, understanding how the occult priesthoods and ET extraterrestrial intervention will be being spoken about more openly going forward for the rest of this year. And we know that this isn't going to be dropped from the covert narratives and the false plants by the GF, by the Greys. It's not coming from the governments. Where it's going to be coming is the grassroots awakenings, the independent researchers, the independent citizen journalists, the seers, the whistleblowers whose testimonies are going to begin to converge, forming an undeniable resonance field where we're going to get more and more disclosure about what's really happening. And I really feel like SpaceX is at the front line of all of this, you guys. Um, so interesting. If you want to read about this particular launch, you can read about it here. It has the countdown events and the time sequencing in which everything is going to happen. And then they also have the route in which the the artificial craft, is going to be essentially taking. So it's going, going, going. Um, and at first I thought this was a little loop-de-loop, but I don't think that's what that is. It looks like it's going to be making a full-on trip all the way in and through, where they're going to be testing the capacities of the Starship. And then this is what I wanted y'all to look at here was the Starship entry point. You know, this to me looks like some particular artificial entry point, right? Like this is like they've placed some sort of magnetic anomaly, some device here, which I do believe this is like the portal passageway. So they are experimenting with time dimensional travel, interstellar travel, and I do feel that through these launches, there is a whole bunch of things going on. So we're going to get into all of this. I heavily encourage you to go look at this though, because you're going to see exactly what I mean when you see this picture. And yeah, guys, um, we're just getting started. So continue to come on in and check on in for this live. Thank you all for joining me. And just be sure to put a big like on this video. If you're just coming in, share this video out to like-minded ascension beings and wayshowers and others who you feel would benefit from this information tonight. So, yeah, I hope you're all going to be tuning in and watching this. I'm probably going to be watching it. And just so I can, see the codes, the ascension codes that are coming through. I encourage you to watch it. It looks like the upcoming launch is happening in about 32 minutes and 35 seconds, and you can watch this on X, the actual launch. Now, let's go over to the map because there are some things I do feel like we need to get into according to where all of this is happening, according to the grids. Okay. Now, I do believe this is where the launch is occurring. This is Starbase Spaceport here. And really what we're looking at is over here in the corner. This is headquarters of SpaceX. So headquarters of SpaceX is located in Hawthorne, California. This is the main corporate location. This is the engineering hub. This is where the Silicon Valley AI geeky techs and all of their hybrid, um, you know, systems, non-human intelligence, information passageways, basically where they're laying down the template. This is coming through Hawthorne, California. And then we have Starbase Boca Chica in Texas. This is the primary Starship development and launch portal. So you know, looking at that prior picture that we just looked at, it really has me tuning in that those atmospheric uh, Stargate entry portals that they're placing in the sky, that these could potentially be placed over the Gulf of America, right? Doing all of this over the waters, doing all of this over the primordial, crystalline, eternal mother diamond waters, right? The womb waters. And I do feel that they're using this entire nursery here to place their artificial Stargate entry points, over the atmosphere, over the water. Why? Because ain't nobody really going to see it there, for one. Also, if they have bad uh landings like spaceships and spacecraft and negative ET off-worlders having landings, they can come through over the waters versus over the land. And I've talked about this in previous updates that most of the off-worlders do actually use the oceanic passageways to come into our planet. They're coming up subterranean, uh, submarine, uh, you know, up through the corridors of the Red Sea. There's a Orion underwater Orion passageway in the Red Sea, and if they're doing it atmospherically, of course they're going to do it over the Gulf. They're going to do it over the waters. Discretion, right? Keeping things under wraps, so to speak. So yeah, we have this is where the launch is going down in Starbase Boca Chica, Texas. This is here. This is a very significant point. Um, I want to just put this ley line on here for you guys just to put some of this into perspective a little bit. So coming from headquarters all the way down through the launch point, okay, and then going even further, actually, it does actually take us through Cancun. This is actually a pretty significant ley line here. We have headquarters running down through the Nika crystal mines. This is what this is here. So what's right in between headquarters and the SpaceX, which is their launch pad, which is where they have these entry portals from other atmospheric off-worlders into our space-time dimension. Right in the middle of that is the selenite Nika crystal mines. Whoo, you guys. That should tell you something, right? We know from Atlantis, we know what those uh hijacked dark, and I'm gonna say Melchizedek because it's a false light, false Messiah Melchizedek that's hybridized with these Sirius B slash hybrid AI types, right? The Tothian types. We know that they tapped into the selenite crystal reservoirs. This was what the whole J Seal shabacle, essentially shenanigans, was ultimately about. And so, therefore, it's very convenient that the ley line of headquarters of SpaceX runs just so conveniently through the Nika crystal mines. This is a sore spot for me. I'm not gonna lie. I don't know if I like that so much. What are y'all doing with the crystal mines? Like, leave the crystal mines alone, right? And then we have the launch pad down here running this full total ley line through the Gulf of America and ultimately running through Cancun, which we know this whole area down here is another deep area where we have all of the dark crystals, right? The Towie stones of Atlantis, the dark crystal. Y'all seen the movie The Dark Crystal? This is what we got going on down here in Cancun. We have all of the obsidian caverns and all of these things as well. So it's a lot, right? It is a lot. What I do notice though is that I feel what's happened here is that SpaceX has essentially placed their locations over areas where um, these are considered 144 crystalline grid points. Each of these headquarters and launch sites, it's not just Starbase Boca Chica, Texas. It's also McGregor, Texas. This is where they have their rocket development and testing. It's also Cape Canaveral and Kennedy, the Vanderburg, uh, in California, Redmond in Washington, their Starlink satellite hub. They have a whole complex set up here that people might not realize that this is so extensive. I can tell you, I didn't realize it was that extensive, that there is about one, two, three, four, five, six locations, all functioning ultimately the entire Men in Black operations, essentially. And basically, each of these points, I do believe, all of these launch sites, they're built over ley line convergence points interfacing directly with the 144 crystalline grid. If you don't need proof enough that that's what it is, why are the ley lines converging over the Nika crystal mines? Do you get what I'm saying? So it's pretty evident that they're laying their infrastructure over the 144 crystalline lattice. And I do feel that SpaceX, I'm just going to say it. If you didn't think the Men in Black operations were real, if you didn't think that movie of Men in Black, all the stuff that they're doing, off-worlders, you know, coming to our planet, literally the off-worlders needing their own passports to get on our planet, having their own, uh, basically, uh, what's it called? Where customs. Uh, their own customs, alien customs. That's what SpaceX is, okay? I think they're doing customs, they're doing immigration to and from our planet from Mars, okay? Let me ask you guys this question. What do you think SpaceX is going to become? Really? They're trying to create Mars colonies. Make this be public, make this be something that is normalized. So, where do you think the beginning phases and stages of even if human beings from our planet want to go to Mars, where do you think customs is going to begin? It's going to begin through SpaceX. These are operations that are running through the military. These are operations that are running through NASA. These are operations that are running through other countries, space divisions, and things like this. So I feel that they're putting on a pretty good public face for their Men in Black operations by painting the narratives that this is for space exploration, this is for colonization, this is for communication of satellites, but we know that there's a hidden agenda. This is interdimensional trafficking, cloaked under civilian spaceflight. So I'm just calling it for, what I see it to be. I feel like it's kind of obvious um, that this is a Men in Black they're cloaked astral enforcers. They're handlers, ensuring the secrecy of these operations. And I do think they have the little memory wipers that they can just hold up their little stick, whatever they're called, their neutralizers, and just zappy your brain, right? And memory wipe you. They're already doing it in the prison systems here on Earth. Everybody who's getting shoveled into the prison systems, uh, everybody who's probably going to Alligator Alcatraz, they're all getting their little like memory wipers, right? They're all getting their little zaps, right? It's actually a part of their sentencing now that, oh, you don't want to serve this prison sentence in this term. Well, we're just gonna memory wipe you. So, you know, all of this is tying into this, and I think that they're doing some public misdirection here. You got to be smart enough to put the pieces together, which you know, I think that we all are here. We're putting the pieces together. But it's pretty obvious that they're doing this. And it's fascinating, to be honest with you. I'm a little fascinated by this. I'm a little like, wow, makes me want to go deeper. Makes me want to uncover more. I'm just reading the chats here a little bit. So until the sun dies, says Draco ships look like big flying pine cones. I saw a picture of one being escorted by US military craft. Wow. That does not surprise me that they'd be utilizing the pine cone given their interstellar travel being very devices and cloaking devices of the pineal and things like this. They'll probably have things that come and project through the sixth dimensional astral. I'm really getting that's a 60 astral uh like symbol and geometry and shape. Tennessee, Kentucky Bigfoot launching with a portal. The electromagnetism creates a pulling force, so there's no need for Stargate propulsion. Oh wow, yeah. Interesting, right? You know that they're using all of this high tech um free energy for themselves, basically. Surface planet radio. Do the Draconians have the technology to communicate through ley lines? Absolutely. Absolutely. And I think they've been doing it this whole time. And I think it's really how they've extrapolated the grid forces here in the United States, linking and converging particular systems, such as the great Atlantean anomaly of the Bermuda Triangle all the way to Mount Shasta. I think they don't really use it for good, and I think this is how they've even tapped off of the Ark of the Covenant. And I think they're utilizing the Ark of the Covenant in transmission with the ley lines to reincarnate in particular locations. I think they have it this good. They have it this advanced. So there's nothing at this point that's not a total potential here, right? Yeah, so yeah. Golden Walking Eagle, all Draconian origin warship fleets use zero point tech. Back to the pine cone thing. One thing I did see in a vision one time was that I think the Draco they've placed like war fleets or warships up in our atmosphere that are they look like cigars. They're all like cigar shaped ships, and they do like have their fleets like in certain areas and sectors of our quadrant around the Earth. I think they also have multiple outposts from Earth, our moon, Saturn. Mars all the way to the Thuban Draconian system where they're keeping their, dark kryptonite rock and things like this. So they got themselves a pretty little complex up there in the skies. And I really feel that SpaceX is it's and again, I don't think we should question it anymore. What they are, who they're really working for, all these things. I think it's pretty obvious that these launches are public disclosure. All of this is technically public disclosure. And also another thing that I think is happening is they're ripping holes in the space-time field, because each time they're launching their rockets from Starbase SpaceX, they are the ignition, the ignition from these things, because it is not Guardian approved, okay? This is not holy angelic technology. The sound portals from these rockets, they actually create phantom rips and tears in the magnetosphere. They literally rip holes open. So not only do I think that on an organic level, they're ripping holes in the magnetosphere, but like they're placing these Stargate entry point technologies into the rips and tears themselves. How do you think that the off-worlders and even the dark invaders that are coming up through the WISA systems and the Phantom systems are getting access? If they're coming up through the WISA system, they're coming up through a hole, they're coming up through a tear in something. This is why they're parasitic. This is why a lot of them come up through the sewer systems and things like this, because they come up through places that are detrimental, low vibrational, and are wounded areas in our planetary field, in our race morphogenetic field, and the magnetosphere of the planet. So that's one element of it that is definitely concerning for me. Um, I think that the rocket harmonics, they destabilize the geomagnetics and they leave tears that bypass the natural guardianship, and the residual fields anchor the AI code into the ley lines, and they create synthetic resonant zones. So I have to tell you guys, I've been concerned about Texas for quite some time. I have to say, Texas is, I think it's running multiple inverted magnetic anomalies, and that Texas itself like needs to be, the conscious, there's going to be a spiritual awakening happening in Texas. Just know that's coming. This is a part of the Orion Draco disclosure from now until December 2025. Texas is going to eventually, at some point, whether it's now, over the next 6 months, over the next 3 years, there's going to be a massive spiritual awakening in Texas. And keep your eyes peeled on Texas, because this is the hotbed. This is the hot zone. This is where everything is happening right now. California is a distraction. New York City is a dump. And everything's moved to Texas. There's reasons for that. And we need to be working on Texas in terms of grid work, because they are creating synthetic resonance zones. And this is only going to create more Orion-like detriment on the grids, the invaded parts of Orion, I'll just put it that way. So through these synthetic resonance zones, there's hybrid infiltration, um, Draco regents, Orion commanders, they build command towers. They build command towers and the land. They come in and build their infrastructure like as if it's their territory, right? As if they run it. And then they can build their command towers in orbit. That's what the whole, you know, Draco Orion hybrid non-human intelligence AI system is, where they have their cigar, fleets and stuff, is they got their command towers, their outposts. They have AI drone intelligences that attach to the satellites. And I really feel like those AI drones that are, attaching to the satellites, the unprotected ones, because just know that we do have protected satellites up there that are working on behalf of the good. I can tell you that much. There are, particular guardian systems, in particular guardian accords that have come through to show me that, we have things up there that are considered satellites that are not non-human. But essentially, I think with the AI drone intelligence attaching them to the AI satellites, that this is a part of creating the dream field nets in some way, um, and infiltrating the water, infiltrating that dream space, infiltrating the Stargate systems and the Stargate networks. It's all technically connected. And I think this is highly experimental by the hybrid emissaries that were sent to influence militaries, government, politics, elites. And a lot of these beings are cloaked as benevolent, but really it's just propagating that false disclosure via the blue beam. So the blue beam agenda is real. It's a hologram directive. And the directive is that blue beam is a Draco Orion agenda designed to hijack ascension and impose an AI sky religion. This is where we're seeing actually a lot of the collective start to shift now in terms of their beliefs and their, you know, superimposed ideology, all of it, right? Their idea of God is going in the direction of the technocratic mindset, that the AI sky religion. And trust me, it's all smoke and mirrors. It is all smoke and mirrors. I mean, this is how they get you. They come out to watch this stuff, right? They come out to watch uh, what's going on here at SpaceX. They come out to watch these beautiful solar bedazzled mesmerizing launches, which, hey, I'll go watch a launch. Sure, I'll go down there. But, because uh, you're gonna get the whole disclosure by going and watching one of these launches. Like you're gonna get all the codes. Like you're gonna get, because the truth can't be really hidden anymore for those that are truly awakened and like the real is coming through. Like you're gonna see it. You're gonna see everything. They can't hide it. So actually going to the launches and getting the disclosure during these timelines is actually very, very important. But um, it's also how they smoke and mirror people as well to believe that, this AI sky daddy is their new religion. And this is something that has captivated even President Trump, you know? But we know that I think he's also a part of the Orion disclosure as well. And I also think that President Trump has been sent to try to ease the disclosure in terms of what's playing out in terms of the warfare in the Orion system, and also bring the Guardian directives from Mintaka essentially as well, which is working on the side of the light. So, it's a complex thing. It's complicated, as it should be. But I do think that one thing that we got to be aware of is this whole AI sky daddy religion and the worship of all of this, right? Because there's mechanics within these programs. They're programming. I'm going to go back over to the map. Um, let's tune in here a little bit also. Let's just scroll down on in and see what it looks like here on the zoomed in starbase. They're even renaming the cities and the streets. So it mirrors their artificial synthetic overlays. Oh, Lordy. So yeah, Boca Chica Boulevard, Starbase launch today. How much time do we got before this is going down, you guys? 12 minutes? Okay, it's almost time to for launch, you guys. Uh basically basically there's a lot of mechanics of the program. Um I think they have atmospheric projection systems. So not only do you have the smoke and mirrors, but you have holograms of the ships, holograms of their sky daddy gods, deities. They have celestial events. Now, this is the thing I'm starting to think about as well. is are they coordinating just like they're creating artificial weather, right? HAARP, our Harry systems. Are they gonna Harry systems our celestial events? Like we no longer can trust the equinox. We can no longer trust uh the new moon, the full moon, all these things, right? Like these alignments, these astrological alignments, are they creating atmospheric projection alteration systems to alter celestial events? This is something we got to keep track of here because this is a whole other level of weaponry that, the organic human really can't see coming. Okay. They also have their voice to skull frequencies. Voice to skull frequencies. Illusions of divine ET voices. We know that they've been doing this for quite some time through the MK Ultra programming and also the frequency fences. But I do think with this level of stuff they got going up there with their entry points and their starships that they're going to turn that notch up a little bit. And no, that's not a good thing, right? Because it's going to create some mad chaos in the field. And then Stargate overlay programs, synthetic projections over real Stargates like Uluru, Giza, Mount Herman, invert organic signals. Again, we know that they have Stargate hijacking systems and devices, and um, this is how they did Mount Herman. They did Mount Herman dirty, you guys. They did Mount Herman really dirty. Implementing the Draco Anunnaki Stargate hybrid takeover, you know, moving the Stargate location. So I just we gotta collapse down these synthetic projections over real Stargates because really a lot of these places do need to be protected. I really feel like there are safeguards over Uluru, that can't be tapped into or fully invaded. And we do know that the Anangu people and the ancient grandmothers and the dreamers and the dream weavers and just the original divine feminine like creator celestial guardian councils like they got shields over places like Uluru. Like they can't really invade those places, but Giza full game, Mount Herman full game, Temple Mount full game. We know they're doing everything there to keep that in the hand of the predatorial forces. So basically I think Starlink is I think they're installing like a mega constellation, like an artificial mega constellation trap or some sort of a like a netting device up there basically. Just taking a look over in the chat. Stardust Queen says New York City is a dump and she laughs. Accurate. Thank you. You know, and if we have any New Yorkers in the house, like it's we love you. We do. Like it's not about really it needs to be cleaned up. It needs to be cleaned up. There's a not a there's not a lot of good things going on there right now. It's just it's not good. So it's actually more concerning. It's a joke. It's funny, but it's actually more concerning. Earth science says we need to counteract, neutralize negative frequencies. I 100% agree. And again, we do this through grid work, you guys. That's the technology. Grid work is the technology to, on a spiritual level, on a soul level, on a level of our avatar land shamanism, on our level of understanding the organic systems and how they function. This is the way that we combat those things and we protect those things. So it is important that we continue to do grid work to help neutralize negative frequencies, collapse down the synthetic overrides until the sun dies. As soon as zero point energy starts being used on the planet, it's going to completely change the consciousness of the people around the devices. I can see how it would align us to Unisci. Okay. Surface Planet Radio. Remember how Tyler, Texas was the first place that CERN was tested in the 50s on the Army military base in Tyler, Texas. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense. And that could have been some sort of preemptive preparation for the land because a lot of times they could place a temporary particle accelerator to break down the organic lattices of energy and to gain access to actually put a hole in the ground, to create a portal in the ground and rip it open so that way they can access the energy is there. So yeah, it is a rupture. The time rupture spans across 45 dimensional planes. The Sun wormhole network is what the alliances and allies currently utilize. Yeah, I agree with that as well. Yep, there is unfortunately there are some nefarious things that are happening through the sun, and this is all disclosure things that I haven't even really even conceptualized how to talk about yet. Because I haven't received like the answers about certain things yet. So haven't wanted to talk about that one yet. Oh, we got someone in Texas. Melinda Crocker in the house. She's from Texas. I'm in Texas, and the energy in the past 6 months has drastically changed. It's like a sharp static type energy is the best way I can explain it. Girl. Yeah, I can only imagine. Some of the intel that I'm getting from people that are in Texas is that it's really like the paranormal activity is out of control. Things that they have going on down there, it's like negative ET, like, well, soul harvesting, soul trapping, abduction, cloning, like all the things we know have been going on, but like it's another level down there right now. And so just be careful. If you're in Texas, be careful. You definitely need heightened protection. You need to be clearing your personal grid lattices. You need to figure out which direction your home is pointing into in accordance to SpaceX. Like, where are you in connection to that? Because if you're in that ley line area here, okay, let's go back out and look at that just for a second. If you're running along this ley line, I can only imagine that that's where the sharpest energy is. Um, you know, that this is probably pretty chilling here. Um, and what's even boggling my mind even more is they are tapping off of the Nika crystal selenite mines in Chihuahua, Mexico. You know that for them to be able to put these kinds of operations together, how else are they going to power something so big like this? How else? I mean, these crystal mines need to be protected because we don't want them programming these crystals to the dark artificial synthetic overlays. And honestly, that's what they're doing. That is exactly what they're doing. So yeah, it's a full on uh yeah, can't say I agree with it. We'll just put it this way. And I think that there's probably a quantum surveillance net that's feeding Orion AI that's running through that ley line. And I think that the whole Mars colonization thing is a cover story for the Draco stronghold. I mean, I hate to say it, like people who want to believe this narrative of like getting to Mars, it sounds beautiful, but there's always something deeper to it, right? And so I think that that whole thing is a cover story again. Draco Stronghold revival and elite. It's an elite escape corridor route. That's what it is. The elite to escape the corridor, get to Mars, right? I think there's also some lunar gate operations in accordance with all of this as well. Wormhole bridges from Earth to the Draco black hole system, and military payloads, directed energy weapons, Dreamfield AI cloud systems. Where do you think their Dreamfield AI cloud databases are going to be located? They're going to be located up in those. holograms up in the sky, up in their starship entry points, and where they're creating all of that. They're weaponizing the skies. They're weapon like, ugh, ugh. Yeah, I got to take a deep breath on that one because that gets my blood boiling a little bit. I don't know about y'all, like the Texans would say it, but I don't like the fact that they're weaponizing the skies. You know? Just like they want to install the Golden Dome. That's a replica of the organic Golden Dome systems, but I also think that's another form of weaponizing the skies. Military payloads. This is where the military gets paid. This is payday, baby. Cha-ching. All the dark directives, all the money funneling into the gazillionaires, the trazillionaires, right? I think that it's somewhat of a warning to humanity. This is what needs to be being issued out. A warning to humanity. Prophetic warning. Blinking, blinking, signal, signal. The intent of all of this is confusion. What they want to do is confuse everybody to make the skies themselves untrustworthy. And the people of Earth must learn this discernment we're before we're completely governed the way that they're governing the Rigel system. Like this is some serious stuff, you guys. What's going on in Rigel is full on like no organic life even lives there. They in Rigel they have literally like massive like psychotronic beast machines just roaming their skies. There's like living life form that's there. So, you know, we need discernment. We need to not allow them because that's honestly not to scare anyone because like I just want full disclosure here. I want full prophetic disclosure here. What's coming in the future? We could have dominating beast machines, active operations of these machines just roaming the skies. Literally. Like, yeah, they got satellites up there now, but what's coming next is some crazy like it's like basically having a oh gosh, what are those called? Like a tank. Like a non-organic intelligent sky tank roaming the skies. So, yeah, just put that into perspective here. It's an interesting potential here that we're kind of seeing could be playing out here. And, you know, I think it has a lot to do with, I think they've installed powering systems up here. So this is from a previous grid work mission that we did here. And all these locations, Josephine, Texas, Project Stargate AI, Sierra Diablo, Houston. This is a triangulated vortex here that's something kind of wicked in itself as well. We talk about, I mean, these are these are like shields to what's going on down here in SpaceX because it's like a major Texas convergence zone. You got Project Stargate Abilene, the AI colonization hub, their 5G, 6G data facilities, their ley line block Stargate project, siphoning off all of the organic resources here in Project Stargate AI Abilene. We got Josephine, Josephine, Texas, where they got the Sharia coded ley line node, frequency lock preventing Sophia anchoring. And you know what? I thought of something today. I thought of something very significant today. You know how we have the gun laws here in the United States, right? Everybody is allowed to bear arms. Everybody's allowed to protect themselves, protect their homes from invaders, from, dangerous beings. But, what if the invaders are already here holding citizenship and they also equally have access to the guns? That's kind of what's happening here in Josephine. Uh, they got full on. Draco reptilian Stargate 10 type enclaves going on down there that all have legal permissibility to carry uh firearms. So I don't think I like that so much either, I'll be honest with you. That's not looking so good. And I think they got those, like I said, frequency locks to prevent the Sophia anchoring there. And so there may be some Metatronic flowering going on there. We also have Sierra Diablo. This place, you guys, this is no joke. Sierra Diablo, Jeff Bezos. Okay, Jeff Bezos, 10,000 year clock. He's they're really doing something there with time travel. They got machine time inversion going on there. Wormhole to wormhole passageways. Traveling 10,000 years in the past, 10,000 years in the future. Why does Jeff Bezos have a 10,000 year clock in Sierra Diablo? And why is it in Sierra Diablo? Isn't that like demonic? Diablo, demon, Diablo, devil, Diablo, Satan? I mean, I think that's what that means. So, and also, I got some Texonian scoop on that area that Sierra Diablo's where like a lot of this child trafficking stuff is going on, like hidden, off the grid type. Nobody knows it, right? And not only that, there's wormhole passageways from this location to the Johnston Atoll in Lahaina as well. So this whole area, I mean, this is a massive ley line. This goes the Johnston Atolls, I believe that's here. Johnston Island. This is a huge military outpost here. And this is running up through Lahaina, okay, where they have their, you know, weaponized, fire systems and things like this. But this ley line, um, uh, this is very interesting, right? What are the odds that it's running from the Johnston Atolls through Hawaii, through Texas, through the time clock, through the Stargate project, through the Stargate 10 enclaves, all the way up through, where do we have? Spruce Pine, Asheville, North Carolina, through Asheville. What happened in Asheville? All of the hurricane and devastation stuff. You know, where does that go now? Keep on going. That ley line. Oh, wow, that takes us somewhere over here. Let's check that out. Oh, we got Stonehenge. We got Vale of Pewsey. We got Cornwall. We got, all these very significant locations in the United Kingdom. We got London Stan, all of it. So this is a very significant ley line right here. This ley line. If I was a Draco operative controller, I think I would be probably trying to capitalize off of that. And that's exactly what I think they're doing. That's a precious resource line right there for them. And I don't know if I like that so much either. It's like it's like the technocratic mafia is running that ley line. It's crazy. And I think there's AI psychic corridors and black cube projections as well. So we know the black cube projections are running there. Now, another thing with SpaceX. So I think another thing that's really important about Boca Chica. Let's tune into Boca Chica. Let's go back in there. Brownsville. And what do you know, you guys? Wait, let me pull back out just a second. What do you know? What do you know? I mean, all of this is running on the border of Texas and Mexico. Of course it is. Of course it is. High convergence nodal points, energetically speaking. So, yeah, that's also a significant element in all of this as well. But let's go back into the starbase. Let's go back over here. Let's see. if we can actually, it's gonna let us watch. Okay, don't see that coming up there. Let's scroll down SpaceX here. Watch Starship's 10th flight test. Okay, don't see it. It says T12, so I don't know. Something's up with that. Let me guys know down in the comments if you guys are catching this anywhere else. Maybe it's postponed or something. Yeah, Surface Planet Radio says black cube equals soul recycling by the Dracos. Oh yeah, 100%. I also think that the black cubes are connected to the Vault of Orion and the Draco kryptonite rock that they covet. Also Saturn. Also the lunar Saturn moon systems of entrapment, soul entrapment. Yep. Yeah, it's one big harvesting system basically. It's really just Project Looking Glass. Yeah. Yep. Well, the Jeff Bezos thing, definitely. I think that's some that 10,000 year clock. That's one of their technological devices that tap into that. Oh, okay. If only they would actually recycle putting energy into the Phantom is arguably way worse. It would be nice if they actually recycled. How many is everyone watching do you do your recycling? Do you actually recycle? I hope everyone here is recycling. But I know what you mean on a bigger level here, but everybody's got to do their part, right? Um, yeah, so I think this Boca Chica here, I think that this particular node, this links to Atlantis. This links into obviously running through the Gulf of America. I think it's tapping into the tip of Miami. Obviously Cancun, the Nika crystal mines, but I think also the Havana Stargate, and I think also this taps into Mexican underground bases. And I think this has to do with probably ties into the cartels, probably ties into the fentanyl crisis here in the US. Like, there's some underground gateway here with Mexico, with this particular location, hidden things here that haven't been exposed fully. I think there's a hyper portal allowing Martian reptilian bleed-throughs. And paranormal phenomena, again, like I said before, I think there's time loss. I think people are losing time here. I think that the etheric rips are making people lose time and the paranormal activity, electromagnetic malfunctions, shadow entities are coming up through here. And I think there's just the Men in Black astral enforcers are in South Texas. Uh, I think the Men in Black is real, and it's how they're doing their memory harvesting, their DNA sampling, astral trauma, hybrid experiments. I don't think SpaceX is progress. I think that it's the keystone of an AI-led Mars Earth infiltration network. That's my spin. And because of this, we're having heightened psychic openings in the planet. Like you may have noticed that your psychic perception has gone to a whole nother level because with what they're doing down here, this is really prompting those that are tuning in on a psychic and psychological and emotional, telepathic, telekinetic, prophetic level. Like this is like really blasting open people's third eyes. Um, I think more need to remove of like the particular implants that are there, like the J seals. Speaking of J seals, let me pull out here. Okay, yep, this is what I seen earlier. Speaking of J seals, let me just plant this picture for you. Let's draw a line from SpaceX over to J seal. Which J seal is this? My map's not going over that one. It's not hovering over it. JCL 4 and JCL 1, 3, 7, 6, 2, 4. Let's see. Just gotta look at something real quick, guys. Okay, I thought that was another seal. That's just the Bermuda Triangle. So yeah, SpaceX is on the parallel horizontal ley line to JCL 4 and the magnetic anomaly in the Bermuda Triangle. So that's also something that I think should be pretty concerning, I'll be honest with you. I don't know if I like that either. So they're tapping off of something here from the Bermuda as well. Oh, wow. And look at that. That's almost like a straight shot over here. So we got ley lines going this way from headquarters. Okay. I wouldn't be surprised if there's not something that they've stationed here, whether it's over the sky or under the waters. But this is just my hunch that they got something here. I'll just put they got something here. So there's probably some sort of portal, some sort of vortex, some sort of satellite that's stationed here, but I wouldn't be surprised if they're not somehow potentially funneling or powering the energy from JCL 5 Bermuda Triangle through SpaceX, have some sort of reflective device running technology up to headquarters. So yeah, that's interesting, right? That's interesting that SpaceX is in alignment with the seal, with the death seal. Uh, so yeah, good. On an individual level, it's important that you get your J seals removed. It's important that you get your Draco seals removed. It's important that you get your force breeder implants removed. Remove as many weapon systems that these reptilian invader types have implanted into our Earth and also into our physical body. If you want J seal removal or Draco seal removal, you can book those sessions with me. I am um, very good at intuiting people's fields and tuning in and seeing what kind of seal systems and distortions they have. So you can book those type of sessions with me at IndigoAngel222.com. I may have the link down in the description of this video today. I'm not sure if I put it in. I can go back in and put it in when I'm done doing this, but yeah, it's really important that you get your seals removed. You can self-remove them. You don't have to book sessions with me or anyone in that matter to do that type of work, but if you do a JC with me, I am very thorough and make sure we'll get them all removed as best as possible, through intention, through breath work, through um, just commandment of your field, all these things. So get your J seals removed, get your Draco seals removed, get your force breeder implants removed. This is actually helping the planet to do this. This is sealing and making less people be victimized by these planetary weapon systems, essentially. Crucifixion wounds, persecution wounds, uh, all of it. So yeah, the spiritual alliances right now are accelerating, and I think soul groups are magnetizing right now. You're going to find that soul groups are going to be coming together because of this stuff that's going on, that we're going to be finding more network, and that's going to be significant into the counter efforts against dark weaponry on the planet. I think we also have to get much more clear distinction between what is organic, what is crystalline earth, and what is Draco Dreamfield infiltration. We have to get a hold on that. And I think right now there's a call to action. So how can we help? What can we do? We have to anchor the 12D arc fields. We have to clear negative arcing fields. We have to restore the organic diamond sun templates. We have to seal AI wormholes and Mars bleed through portal systems. Um, because yeah, they really got a stronghold down here in Texas. And we got to trust the inner solar logos. No blue beam stuff can deceive that. Okay, none of this can deceive the awakened heart. So, yeah, we can reclaim, and we can be healed, and the earth is awaiting our return. So, yeah, you guys, one last thing I wanted to share with you all was just some of my insight as to what is happening and just over the next few months. I think it's good to look at this. So this is a timeline flow that I put together for you guys. Just checking the chat again. So sorry, I am flipping back and forth between screens, so I don't necessarily see everything as you guys post it up in real time in the chat, but I do go back through and look. Okay, Surface Planet Radio says the book by Arizona Wilder, Texas border with Mexico, not the title. Okay. Recommending a book for us to look at. Yeah, the border's really the most dense regions and like warfare contention zones. So it doesn't surprise me that they would have placed SpaceX there. I mean, gosh, how perfectly aligned is that Starship location with all these like the horizontal ley line going into the J seals, the angular ley line going from headquarters into the Nika mines, like that is so strategically built into the 144 crystalline lattice. Like it blows my mind and it should blow your mind too. Like this is crazy. This is next level stuff, you guys. Like you can't even make this stuff up, right? Like I had a big download of the scrolls when I did my Draco seal removal during the course. Okay. Oh, wow. Yeah. I mean, you'll get so much clearing. So much clarity, so much weight taken out of your etheric, energetic, astral, and causal body. Like it is really kind of like night and day. And I think so many people do see such a huge shift in their life and their timelines after doing Draco seal removal, particularly. Denise says, yes, I live in the border. Something is off. A lot of military on the Mexican side. I'm telling you, it's the cartel situation right now. Like Trump is going to war with it, to be honest with you, you know? So I think on the Mexican side, they're hopefully not preparing for any sort of attack or an invasion, but they're definitely they're in arms. I think it's 9 cartel families in total. I was even getting that I needed to do like a update on this actually coming soon and potentially a grid work mission on Mexico coming soon. So stay tuned for that, you guys. Let's look at the timeline flow here though. This is what I'm kind of predicting coming forward here is that uh coming into the September equinox, okay, 9/21 to 9/23. I think we're going to have massive solar logo surges through Uluru, the sun disk, and that's going to accelerate more of the awakening points in the Pacific nodes. That is going to really help with the organic timelines, speeding up the organic timelines. We do have a massive harvest coming in September. So, this is going to be a massive timeline incremental win for the side of the light that a lot of everybody that's been doing good work, good grid work, prayers, working on the side of light, transmuting the dark forces, that we will see a lot of wins for the light come through the equinox. But something else that's a little bit concerning though, coming through this time portal is that hurricanes right now, right? So August through October, southern regions, southern hemisphere, particularly Florida. This is kind of the danger timeline, right? And hurricanes are expected to be category fives, across the board. And I think we've already dodged one of those coming up that didn't hit Carolina. Thank goodness it didn't hit Carolina because I don't think they could have took much more, to be honest with you. So that's something to pay attention to is hurricanes coming up the pipe. Also earthquakes, Japan, California, all this. I think that could be markers of Orion Draco ley line destabilization, making these things more severe, and also floods as well. We got to keep watching out for floods. So that's one thing coming through August, October, and through the September equinox. Um, October 1010, so the 1010 portal, this is going to be another major portal. I got Draco reversal fields over Iraq, Iran, Jerusalem, um, all the stuff going on over in the Middle East, and continuous preparations and repair on Stargate 10. So I think there's going to be massive activations that come through on 1010 regarding those particular timelines. November 1111. Okay, talked about going out to Area 51 for 1111. Let me know, you guys. Like, send me an email or something if you think this is something you might be interested in. Me and Rob from TSP have been discussing this quite a bit, so you never know. You never know. We might be making it out to Area 51. Uh, if we can get together a team and if we feel that it's going to align with the flight schedules, because the flight schedules are very significant for going out there. So, but 1111, I think that this is it's gonna be a beautiful time for the ascension timeline, but I think there's also gonna be a lot of bifurcation as well. And I think we're gonna experience that through mirroring of these AI dream field invasions and the 144 crystalline lattice of light. So I think 1111, we're gonna have heightened dream warfare. I think that's what's gonna be happening is we're gonna be getting a lot of yeah. So we might need to place in our upcoming grid work some form of dream warfare protection systems coming up down the pipe through 1111. Also, December 21st, the solstice, I'm getting organic stargates versus the holographic fields. And here we're going to get more of the organic codes that are being revealed in the December solstice timelines. More of the true Stargates are going to be getting revealed, and that we're going to have Guardian Solar Logos overrides that are going to be safeguarding those particular Guardian systems and things like this. So, yeah, I'll be, issuing out more information about the Ascension timelines as I get more information coming forward. So, just tune in with me on those gateways and those timelines as I'll be bringing forward as much disclosure as I possibly can as more information comes in. So thank you guys so much for tuning in tonight. And just wanted to mention, you can find all of my seal removal sessions over here on my services tab, IndigoAngel222.com. I have an extensive line of sessions and services that you can sign up for, and all of my work it's powerful, it's deep, it's vetted, it's verified, it's valuable, so you really can't go wrong with anything that you book. Everyone that comes to work with me, I see them as a treasure and a gift, and honor every experience and exchange energetically that comes through. So just know that I love you guys all so, so much. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you for supporting the channel. Please be sure to put a big like on this video on your way out, as if you can, helps the channel out so much. And again, share this out as much as possible. It's much appreciated. So thank you guys. Have a beautiful everything, and namaste.